Peace and love, family. Good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Get This Wisdom Live. I am your host, founder, and creator, Shakti Sterner. And today we're going to be talking about autism and JB. But let me, of course, provide my disclaimer. As you all may know, and if you're new to the channel, I am a stay at home mother. I do have two beautiful children who, ironically, are on the autistic spectrum. With that being said, it is the middle of the day. They are up and active. You may hear them in the background. And if it becomes a need for me to stop recording, to tend to them, and I will do so. And I will, either pause or try to uh, finish the episode at a later date and time. Now, um, yeah, so, and there's one of my babies right there. Nothing's wrong. That's just the way she expresses herself. Um, yeah, so right now on social media, there's a young man by the name of JB. He's a uh, young African American boy who is on the autistic spectrum. He has profound autism, and he's trending right now. Him and his family. His mother decided to post a video of him having what we know in the autistic world to be an aggressive meltdown, if you will. And he was, trying to physically attack his mother, and to see that it's very difficult. You know what I mean? Like it's hard, especially for those of us who can identify and relate to what they are going through. You have a whole lot of people, like I said, he's trending, he's viral at this point, and you have a lot of people offering their opinions on the matter, their criticisms, their judgments, and their what have you. And what I firstly will like to say is judge not unless thee be judged. You know what I mean? Um, we all have things that we can be judged for. I don't know not one pristinely perfect person. And there's my daughter throwing a broomstick. So yeah, we're going to talk about this one here because it's hitting close to home. I'm very much triggered, and I feel the need to come on my platform. Um, we all have things that we can be talked about for, perceptive and perception are in the eyes of the beholders. So somebody is always going to have something to say about whatever is going on in your life. And yeah, so let's start there. There's a lot of ignorance being shown right now, from those outside of the community and even those inside of the community. You know what I mean? When we talk about autism, it's classified as a special needs diagnosis. And in the last 10, 15 years or so, we have seen a lot of diagnoses being taking place in the autistic world. However, to have and she's about to throw a can. Okay. To have a front row seat to actually live the life of an autistic parent And to see the ignorance being displayed all across social media, for one, it's very concerning because it provokes the thoughts that once again our children are being judged. We're being judged. There is no little to no understanding of the autistic children and the autistic caregivers. Like this experience right now, it's once again putting it under a microscope that people judge what they don't understand. And then they come from a place of complete ignorance. Because if you can sit up here and say, well, it's being said that the mother, you know, should have been physically disciplining him. She should have been, for lack of better terms, whooping him, spanking him. And she shouldn't have did that. And that couldn't have been me. And oh, she's not doing a good enough job and all these things. And for me, it's like, hold on. First off, let's look at the people that are saying these things. Firstly, are you someone that has experience with autistic children? Are you someone that knows the role and lives the role of taking care of autistic children? If your answer to that is no, then right there you just need to stop. Like if you have no actual firsthand experience raising an autistic child or children, then your opinion is completely null and void. And you need not to even try to have an opinion in regards to this matter. Because how can you speak on something that you have no firsthand knowledge or experience with? And my baby is sitting literally right behind me in my chair, so that's why you hear her loudly. And I'm glad she's here for this because this conversation involves her. It involves my other child, her sister. They're both autistic. So if you don't have that firsthand experience with autistic children, whether it be the caregivers, the family, or a medical professional, or even a teacher, then you don't need to be telling a mother what she should or should be doing in regards to her child. How can you even form your lips to speak on that, right? Because you say what you would do in a situation, but you're not in the situation to really know what you would do. We all say that from time to time when it wouldn't have been me, it couldn't have been me. But you don't know what you would do if you were faced with that challenge. You don't know how you would act in that moment, unless you or until you actually are in that moment. So on the video, it shows JB continuously trying to kick her, and she's trying to stay away from him, move away from him, and she's calling for her other son. I don't see what she did wrong in that moment. You know what I mean? You have people saying, "Well, she should have beat him. She should have should, she should have whipped him." Firstly, you can't beat the autism out of a child. I don't care what nobody say. People have their own thoughts and opinions about it, but I can voice mine because I have two on the spectrum, and I know for a fact that, like, it's common sense. You cannot beat a medical condition out of a child or anybody. So for people's solution to be to spank or whoop their kid, that is the furthest thing from the truth in most cases. Now, you do have some cases where that may be applicable. However, even in that regard, when those children are being beat on and whooped and spanked, they're not learning respect in that regard. No, they're not. What they're learning is fear. Like, even with a neurotypical child is a child that has not been diagnosed with any medical conditions, disabilities, or special needs, right? Even when you're dealing with a neurotypical child being spanked, let's go back to our childhoods. I was someone that was spanked, and that didn't teach me respect of my parents. That taught me fear. Respect and fear is two different things. So we have to stop thinking that because if you put your hands on a child, that will make them respect you. No, they're not. They're not developing respect. They're developing fear and resentment. And then when you apply that to a child whose neurological wiring is not typical, it's diverse, it's different, it's special. It's even more difficult to apply that to those types of children. Because let me tell you something. In the autistic world, some of these kids are so physically physically strong because they're making up it's like the strong suit thing where their weakness is here, their strength is here. So a lot of these children are so physically strong that if you hit them, they will look at you and laugh like it's a funny game. Like they won't take you serious. They don't really have the threshold of fear or danger. A lot of autistic children do not have the threshold. That's an even better point. There we go. A lot of these babies don't understand fear or danger. That's why a lot of them wander off. A lot of them do dangerous things because they cannot put two and two together. So while you're thinking that you're getting your point across by physically putting your hands on this child, you're really doing more harm than good. That's what we have to really be honest about. Like, and this is why I am someone that can speak on this because I have two autistic children. And one of them is 14, the other one is 11. So I've been doing this quite a while now, and I've seen both different parts of the spectrum, different behaviors, different stemming, different coping mechanisms. And that whole beat the child, whoop the child, what you're going to end up doing, unfortunately, is putting your hands on that baby in the wrong way and hurting that child to a point of no return. Or that child may just hurt you in that way. Because there have been many of stories where certain parents and caregivers of autistic children have been hospitalized due to the injuries that their child may have given them. I personally have dealt with my daughter being aggressive and putting her hands on me. You know what I mean? And it's not a good feeling to look at your baby and know that they're trying to harm you and also trying to keep it into perspective that this child doesn't even understand really on some levels. Some of them do. Some of them we kind of underestimate. But we have to be fair in our assessment with these children. We can't just approach the situation as we would in a neurotypical mechanism. We have to be outside of the box. So what discipline may look like for one child, and it may be effective, it's going to look completely different for another child. You know what I mean? We have to stop approaching things from a one way approach. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy because this video is really, really, really trending. It's really, really, really viral. And you seeing all types of people joking and making reenactments and it's really a sensitive topic, especially for those of us who have a child or children on the spectrum. You know what I mean? Like, it's not fair. She put her video out there for awareness. Awareness is letting people know, giving people a firsthand view or account so they can stop being so ignorant. But what happens in this situation, and what happens with most of the times, is that it begets more ignorance. The ignorance doesn't stop. People think that they know every damn thing. Like they think they know everything and what they would do in a damn situation. If your children, and I said this last night on one of my Facebook channel or pages, Facebook pages, if your child or children is not classified as special needs, be grateful. Be grateful and quit putting your 2 cents in where it don't apply. Like we have to do better at knowing when and where to shut our mouths. Sometimes we shouldn't be speaking on something that we don't really know about. Like people, and we as humans tend to do this all the time. Like you get triggered and then you try to what you would do, but if you ain't never been, and if you don't have to live that life, you don't know what it is like. You don't know the dark moments. There are beautiful moments too, having these special needs kids, but there's also the dark moments that a lot of people, myself included, don't feel comfortable with sharing because society tends to judge us parents more. We get the real outside of the child having to suffer with the condition and them not even understanding that they have a condition that they didn't ask for. We the parents are getting all the judgment for that, and we don't know about it neither. Like in some cases, yeah, some special needs may be brought on like through drug abuse and alcoholism and stuff. One second, please. Okay. It's looking like I may have to stop this video. I'm trying to see if she's going to give me a little calming moment, but it doesn't seem like she is. So, yeah, I'm going to pause here, but I am definitely going to come back later sometime tonight or tomorrow to finish this dialogue because it's absolutely necessary. But as you can see, autism is unpredictable. So stay tuned for part 2. Thank you for listening. Peace.